Hi guys, this is for our music multimedia package, and we have Keshav here, an East graduate, and we're going to be interviewing him and asking him a couple questions about his music career. All right, so Keshav, to start off, we're just going to do some background questions. So when did you graduate from East?
So I graduated class of 2015. So once upon a time, basically. And
Yeah.
I used to be the opinions editor once upon a time back in 2014 and 2015.
All right, so where are you now?
I recently graduated from the University of Maryland in May, and I'm currently working from home.
Very nice. So now going over to your music career, when did your passion get started?
Uh, During senior year at East, definitely. I had a really bad tablet that I used to bring to just uh like after school when we had like meetings or when we needed to make like pages. I'd bring it and like I'd go home and make music on it, and the music was awful and I was really proud of it. I was really proud of that music. And I showed it to everyone, and when I entered college I realized that like I should probably get a little bit better. So every day after school, after classes, I just kept practicing and practicing, and I did that for 4 or 5 years. Yeah, so that's where I am now. That's how I got into it.
Yeah. So you would say your time at East was very influential on taking this path?
Yeah, I was always carrying headphones like on the bus and like listening to music and then like studying it, dissecting it in my head, and yeah, just the time I had at East and listening to those tunes just really just kind of created my like upbringing. So.
So how does it feel to first make music and then share it with the world, whether it be through the internet or live stream?
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to explain because music's like very personal to me. A lot of my friends try and like really push me to release my things. I always make a joke that for every track I release, for every record I make, there's 10 or 20 I have not released. And a lot of my friends tell me you should like release more, like show us more music. But for me, it's like the only diamond that I see like in the rough of like what I make is like worth being released for me. Um, so that's like my thought process. And once it gets shown, I'm always shocked at the reception of just whether it be just small donations or people saying it's like changed their lives. It's all very humbling to me. Humbling is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, that's about
Um,
that area.
yeah. All right. Angelina is going to take over from here with the questions.
I should unmute myself first. Okay.
No
You're good.
worries.
So, how does music speak to you, and what impact has it had on your life? And do you think that it's important for other people to find music that speaks to them?
That's a really good question. Um, so just to start out, I guess the first part of that question, like how does it speak to me? It's definitely like a separate voice. You can't really look at like any one individual person and be like that person likes this type of music. It's all very decided upon that person's upbringing, what they listen to, and like their personality, which all shapes into what sound and music they like. So in order to make it speak to someone, I guess that a song that they hear needs to resonate with a part of their lives. So I guess that's like the best way to put it for the first part of that question. Second part, uh, what else? It was
Is
speak to
it
them.
is it
Yeah,
important for people to find music that speaks to them?
yeah, definitely. So it's hard for me to find people that say like they're not into music. At least most people have a certain preference. So depending on which, I feel like music can be a great motivator when studying, it makes them like feel a certain way. An outlet is probably a great way to put it as well for emotions and for just general work and emotions. Yeah. So
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of people say like music's a very gray area. Like there's no black and white as to what people like.
yeah.
Um,
So it's
so
a great dynamic.
what advice would you give current students who are trying to get into the music industry?
Uh, it's so the industry is hard for me personally. I never aspired to shoot straight into the industry. Um, I know my buddy Ethan, who is also on the board. I think you guys talked to him on Friday. Um, he always used to talk about wanting to DJ and produce, even while he was on the board. Like that was really an awesome thing for him, and it was never something that never occurred to me, um, where I would be making music now and it would be received by anybody. I was under the impression I was just making it for myself, and one day I decided to launch a project, which is my artist name, KTrek. So I put it out onto the internet, and people just kept wanting more, and I just kept releasing. I'm like, oh, this song they'll probably like this, and I just hit like upload, and then it was like a snowball basically, that kept building up. So it was never my intention to get to where I am now. I'm always like grateful and humbled to see the reception, and like specific show requests that I get, or requests to be on compilations or on posts. Yeah, so it's all been very humbling, and yeah, it's life comes at you a lot of ways. So yeah.
So where do you hope to be with your in respects to your music career in like 5 to 10 years?
That's a good question, especially now that we're in COVID mode, so to speak. So there's not many opportunities in regards to live shows right now. Um, I I was fortunate during this time of a pandemic to grow my audience a lot, despite not having the live setting. I miss shows, and I miss like the club vibe or parties, just sharing a musical uh, environment with everyone. I have been fortunate enough to do online shows, which have yielded some thousands, which has been very humbling and very validating for my style and my inner music soul. So in eight or in a couple in about a decade, I hope that I'll be playing a lot more live shows. I hope that my music still maintains the soul that it had when I first started, like the very uh, like I don't want to say like youthful, like how artists change over time. I want my core sound to still be there 10 years from now while still looking like I've improved. Uh, so so that's one and two. And three is I just hope to impact more people with my music. I hope that a lot of people feel uh, great after listening, and yeah, I just want to impact more people. So shows, impacting more people, and evolving my sound are probably the three things that I'd see myself do in 10 years.
That's a very well developed response. A lot of good points.
Thank you.
Do you have a favorite artist or like a couple of like your top three favorite artists if you can't narrow it down to one?
Yeah, so I'm very indie electronica, experimental electronica. Uh, I've had I've been fortunate to have met like a lot of amazing producers over the past year. So one, let me see if I can get his name right. One artist I look up to, and he's an amazing person, and like somewhat of a mentor to me. His name is Skeller, Skeler. Um, he's from Australia, and I've been very fortunate to see him kind of explode over the past year, into, in my opinion, one of the most influential electronic artists in the world, I'd say right now. Um, so I look up to him, and I'm very grateful that like he appreciates my style and my sound as well. Um, yeah, that's probably the one big guy I'd say is most influential to me.
So you'd say that do you ever look at other artists to influence your own music when you're looking for inspiration for a new song?
Yeah, the best way to get inspired is definitely by listening to artists and friends and new songs, because you can be like, oh, I like that tone, or I like that small little sound or that key, and that can spark another snowball, which will gradually develop into maybe a song or a vibe or atmosphere that you want to create for yourself.
I know this last part is just the last question. It's kind of on the spot, but is there a way that you
No
could
worries.
play one of your songs and kind of walk us through what the process was of making it?
Oh, yeah, sure. That's fine. I'll see if I can find a decent one. I actually don't have speakers. I'm a music producer, but I don't have speakers at my computer. I have them in my DJ setup in my basement. But let me see. I can pull up one of my songs here. I'll pick my most popular one. I guess that's a good way to put it. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so I've been fortunate enough. My most popular song, it's called Loca. Uh, it just hit 1 million on YouTube, so I was very happy about that. Um, let's see. I guess since I can't play it for you guys, I guess I'll just like describe it. Like, is
Yeah,
that
yeah. You
okay?
can totally just like give us a
Yeah.
background of like what it was like if you remember making that song and that kind of stuff.
So, one of the best ways of getting a song to start that snowball effect of just like inspiration, fireworks going off in a producer's head, is the vocal sample that you pick. Uh, the vocal I picked was from my singer, uh, who's anonymous, because as part of the KTrek project, my musical project. And when she sends me vocals, I'll just sift through and I'll find something that's like that really stands out to me, and I'll build the rest of the song around that. So the beginning of this song is very uh, guitar rock oriented in terms of taking a guitar and like kind of changing it to be more fluid like water, and kind of like having it meld into like an introduction. I'm gonna play it back for myself so I can give you guys some more advice. Yeah. So yeah, the beginning is very guitar oriented with vocals on top, and then I get to a build up. I don't like uh, extremely heavy build-ups because I'm a very fluid person. A lot of my songs are very um, I don't want to say like water to me, but I like how things flow into each other and meld without percussion. I want to see how it sounds with big drops. So when the drop hits, I want it very cutting and very pulsating through speakers, because electronic music is very it hits you in like the chest and like the head with the bass and kick drums. Um, so yeah, I carry the same guitar throughout the intro. Breakdown is all ambience. When I thought of this, I was just like, maybe give the listener the illusion that they're in a cave or in a stadium or something that really like tidal waves over them in terms of like a soundscape that's like all around them. So that's the breakdown after my intro. And I noticed that I want all of my songs to have lyrics in them. So the lyrics she sent me, other than like the electronic like vocal chops that you hear in like choruses on like the Trap Nation YouTube channel or some or popular electronic music channels, I wanted there to be like solid lyrics. So the introduction to the second chorus is all lyrically inclined and just drops straight into the second chorus right after that. So it's all very poetic in my head. Uh, and it yeah, that's about it for this song. Um,
Yeah. I have a question.
for sure.
So these lyrics, does your singer create them?
Yeah. She writes It's also very personal to her as well, because it's almost like embarrassing, like when you have like a notebook full of like corny lines and things, and it's all objectively looks very like like ditzy or too romantic, but when you throw it into a project and it comes out like something like this, like a musical project, you can see how like all the like Lego pieces stack together and it just becomes one big solid foundation. So yeah. Mhm.
How many songs have you released?
I think 12, but I probably have around 100 that I haven't, yeah, shown. I usually reserve those for shows. So they're called IDs, unidentified tracks. So I have about 90 IDs suitable for shows, probably around 30.
So you play those, but you don't like release them for people to listen to outside the shows.
No, yeah. Usually, when I practice making songs, I'll find a song. I'm like, it's really good, but it's not perfect. I'll keep it in my ID folder for now. And if I have a spot in my mix that I really want to just throw it in, I'll just throw it in. And it makes people happy to hear unreleased music as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I think that should be it for this interview. Thank you so much for coming. It was great talking to you.
Thank you, Scout, Angelina. Tell Gags I said hi.
We will.
Yeah. All right. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you.